Howdy, everybody. Fiscal Fitness is coming to you again from Coast 360. My buddy Derek Bollinger is here. Derek, good to see you as always, brother.
Always good to see you, Jason.
Okay, now it's always good to talk about finance, but we live in rather interesting times right now. Many people believe that we are headed towards, if not already in, an inflation or a recession. It's a high inflation economy, some people would believe. So what are tips that you always talk about self-discipline and, planning and knowing where your money comes in and goes out and everything? What are some budgeting tips we can use as, inflation begins to take hold?
Well, I think one of the simplest budgeting tip and easiest is really just to write it down. Write out a budget for yourself, track what your expenses are, where your money's going. And a lot of people would be surprised on how much they spend on things that they thought were, that's just a cheap item, or it's just that's only $2. But you spend $2 every day in a month and that adds up. So writing down where you're spending your money, I think that's an easy tip for people to identify maybe where they're spending more money than they want to, or even where they might want to spend money, start spending more money.
And you don't have to have a degree in accounting to actually essentially use a ledger, right?
Yeah. Excel is a simple and easy tool that's on a lot of people's computers and laptops. Or even just writing it out. Get a scratch piece of paper, write it out in a calculator. Add it up at the end of the month.
All right. We always talk about emergency savings and having, that rainy day fund, right? With inflation being what it is right now, how can we adjust for, emergency savings and the things that, if you need to make an emergency purchase, if God forbid somebody gets sick or, you need quick cash.
Yeah. Especially with prices going up and things getting more expensive. Once you've written down those expenses and you're able to identify, areas where you can possibly reduce your expenses, now you can take that savings and put it into an actual account, a savings account, and hopefully that grows every month. So again, writing things down, identifying where your money's going, that'll really help you identify areas where you can save money.
And with that emergency fund, should we be putting a little bit more than usual given these kind of remarkable times? Or?
Everybody's different. I think you want to put away something for sure. How much you put away, that's going to be up to each individual person. As much as you can. That's probably the best rule of thumb to follow, as much as you can, but that's going to vary from person to person.
Yeah, there is a difference between being, self-disciplined when it comes to personal finance and, doing it until the point when, it starts to impact your lifestyle in a negative way, or it literally really starts to hurt. So, you don't want to get to that level.
Yeah, and those, you get to that level and it's harder to maintain that savings. If you're really sacrificing something that means a lot to you in order to build your savings, it may be harder to maintain that in the long term.
And the hardest thing is starting, because I know it's, breaking behavior patterns is always really difficult to do. But once you actually do it once, you're good to go, right?
Yeah, you prove to yourself you can do it and then you keep doing it.
There you go. Okay, and I want to get back, Derek, on this topic of, keeping the ledger and everything, because my math is terrible, right? Especially my arithmetic. Are there apps or services, you mentioned Excel, Google Sheets and everything, to actually be able to track, maybe get a nice, graphical report?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of applications out there. Some online banking systems might have built-in budgeting tools, but just on the internet, you can Google budgeting tools, and a lot of them can help, help you reach your goals.
Very, very nice, and that's what it's all about. Helping you reach your goals and helping you be fiscally fit. That's why we chose that as the name of this segment. Derek Bollinger, Coast 360, always good to see you, man.
All right, thanks, Jason.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Fiscal Fitness is made possible by our partner, Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Together, we thrive.